Kellen walked us through the conversation that he had with you on the sideline. Just mentioned what it was that he said to you when the decision for the quarterback change was made. Can you take us through that moment for you and just your response?
Yeah, I mean, we came out of the half, didn't have a great drive, kept getting backed up. Just really couldn't catch a rhythm. And, he said, hey, we're going to go with Tyler, get a little spark, see what's going to happen. And, it's part of the game. I understand you can't control everything, but, hey, I'm going to be a great teammate and respond the right way. Be a pro about it and help in any way I can.
What do you feel like turnovers the last 2 weeks have been for you?
Yeah, I mean, moving the ball great the first drive. Great opportunity in the rush lane. Try to make a little juke move and just try to tuck it away too late. And, had a great punch out. So got to protect the ball better when I'm running and make sure it's tight. And then, the backed up one off the play action keeper, it's unfortunate. He got his hand on it. It was a good play by him. Try to move on after that one. That was tough. But, thought we were going to respond and, try to bounce back from that.
What do you think overall has been the main theme of the turnover struggles for you the last couple of weeks?
The last 2 weeks, I think last week I started pressing. I don't feel like I pressed at all this game. I think got careless with keeping it high and tight on that first drive on the run. Would have had a great run there. And then I think the tip pick was unfortunate. So, yeah.
Do you feel like you put any pressure on yourself, given what happened in Chicago heading out?
No, I knew I wanted to play a cleaner game. Wasn't happy with the fumble, obviously, the first drive, but try to respond in the right way. I think as a group, we just, starts with me. We got to just execute better, see things better. Credit to their defense. They did a lot of great things. Knew they were going to give us a lot of different looks, which they did. But no, I don't feel like I put too much pressure on myself. I just, had to control those moments and tuck the ball tighter, literally.
And for your guys' drives across the midfield, like, what are you seeing that's been like a season-long thing of not being able to convert maybe the way you guys want to? Was there anything you were seeing today specifically with it?
Yeah, I mean, we were converting on third down well. Our numbers were okay in the first half. They brought some good pressures. We had the right answers versus a good amount of them. Could have got the ball out maybe quicker on some checkdowns when we crossed that 50-yard line. We knew that was a high-pressure area. A couple missed stops, but got to watch the tape and see what happened when we crossed the 50 because it seems like we couldn't really get anything going once we passed that 50. So we got to watch the tape, figure that out.
What's next? Like, how do you handle this week now?
I mean, I just go at it the same way. It's part of the game. I've been through adversity before. I'm going to be a good teammate, have good body language, still be a leader. So I just got to show up to work, keep a smile on my face, keep working. And, you can only control what you can. I've said that before. So I'm going to control what I can and keep attacking the same way.
Were you surprised at the decision?
A little bit, but, hey, no bad feelings at all with Kellen. That's my guy. He's awesome. He's been awesome all year. And, we haven't really gotten anything going on offense, the last 2 weeks. So, hey, understood. Just got to show back up and figure out what we need to get better at.
So disappointing but not surprising, you'd say?
A little bit of both. Definitely not happy with the turnovers. You're not happy with that. Not scoring points offensively the whole game. You're not happy with that. But hey, it is what it is. Charge it to the game. Move on. That's all you can do.
Spencer, your thoughts on the way that the defense played and the way that they played? I guess that'd be extra frustrating with the wrong end zone.
They played great. They gave us a chance. It's been like that the last few weeks. They played with energy. They played with more energy than us, more focus, more effort, and you could see it. So we got to respond better, especially when they give us the opportunity before half to go score at midfield. We got to convert on that, and get 7 instead of 3. So defense is doing their thing. Offense got to wake up. So, we got to figure that out and keep working at it.
Is there anything you attribute that to, like why the defense would be more focused than the offense?
Maybe focus isn't the best word. I think just playing with more fire. I think you could see that. I think offensively we can get some things going, create some momentum, create some energy, and that starts with just basic plays, right? Moving the chains, hitting the shot when it's there, getting first downs, and then ultimately finishing in the red zone, which we haven't been doing. So, we just got to do better in those areas, and keep our really up our level in energy and fire, all that. But it comes with execution.
Why hasn't that fire been there?
I think we just got, you got to catch a rhythm. I think our rhythm wasn't there. Started out the game well, turned it over. That's not great, but how you respond is everything. So we didn't respond well, and I think you gotta execute to have that fire. We play with fire. No, don't get it mistaken. We play with energy. We're dialed in, but we just gotta execute better. It comes down to execution. It comes down to situations, and just trusting the play that's called and getting it ran well.
Do you think Tampa did anything that Chicago also did? Like, did that game carry over to what they tried to do against you guys today?
No, a little different. We knew Tampa's a heavy pressure team. We had a good plan coming into it. I want to say the first third down of the game, they brought cover zero, blitzed everybody, and we made the right check and got the ball out. But yeah, Bulls is going to give you something different every single play, and it's what we expected. They out-executed us, that's clear, and all game. And so we just got to look at our preparation, take it to the next level, and move on from this one, move on to the next.
How do you process the last two results with the overall improvement you've made this season?
The last two games?
Yeah, where maybe you regressed, and then but overall it happened before that.
Yeah, you want to improve each week. Last week, obviously, you got careless with the ball a little bit. This week, first drive, again, high and tight. That's on me. I got to keep it high and tight. We preach that every day. You're never safe when you're out there running, especially as a quarterback, so you got to keep it high and tight. I think just protecting the ball, that's it. And then taking the completion when they're there. I felt like I was taking them. A few missed stops, but got to go back on the tape and watch it. But yeah, got to be better. Got to be better.